introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music originator. Fresh off of my hiatus. Yelling you to all my haters. They skywalk, I'm Darth Vader. Promise I don't give a about them. Let them out to anywhere. Tell them they don't need nothing. Yup, like in the Kango enter. New Cadillac with an all-go hammer. Long as I remember out of Atlanta. I can give a about a dog. Used to getting things from a text. So I count setting numbers in the hood. Do what I say do. Tell break bread or fake dead. A bit to hate that. 50 million a year died to make that middle. You vote for Trump. You see me outside. Well, you know what's up. I ain't hearing no peace talk. Ain't funny, no hee-haw. Like a Black Panther weak to the teeth. Try me weak. Swear to God, I could have been Freddie Gray. Or Mike Brown getting down with a homie and a half a. Let me buy Sandra Bland. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I would challenge with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Grand hustle over everything.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuning.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Here we go, even. Ready.
Jameis to throw it. This is caught by Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here are your defensive starters for the Panthers. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
2nd down, Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Winston. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. Funchess, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's Winston. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play. See if the defense... On first down, it's Newton. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 7 catches, 88 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now Newton on first down. And this one complete right side to Funchess. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It was Mitch Unrein that made the tackle. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
By now, you know I love running backs, and C.J. Anderson caught my eye in a big way in 2017. His first 1,000-yard season on the ground, a little bit over 1,000 yards for 1,007, but over 1,200 yards from scrimmage, so you know he can catch it out of the backfield as well. An exciting runner, a powerful runner, and a guy who can be physical when necessary.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Winston and the Bucks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. There are the numbers for Brate from a week ago. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Jameis now on 1st down. He hits Rodgers in the flat. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Byron Maxwell, the corner, in on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaunt. As we begin the 2nd quarter, they do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Working out of the gun, Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
It was funny during the draft process. Someone said to me, well, whoever takes Christian McCaffrey, as it turned out it was Carolina, how are they going to use him? Is he going to be an every down back? Is he going to be a 3rd down guy? They're going to use him in the slot? I mean, what are they going to do with him? And I just said, yes.
All of that.
No doubt about it. This kid can do it all.
And he did a nice job there out of the backfield to pick up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Got a man, it's right. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Out of the gun, Newton. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Ian Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
And these guys used a 4th-round pick on him this year specifically for red zone situations like we just saw, where he can use his big body to find open space and the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Now it's Wilson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Winston. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So there's the first target for him in the game. We just mentioned earlier he had not been targeted. But the first completion, that hasn't happened yet.
He's been on lockdown so far, hasn't he? But that doesn't mean you don't keep trying to figure out a way to get him the football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks. We have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Handoff comes to Anderson. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
3rd down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Here's Jackson. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. In on the stop, Kevin Minter. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Jameis on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Bucks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Winston. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucks may have moved.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Sonic! Green, Trevor, say!
From the gun, Winston. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Third and short yardage, Winston. He's got Evans. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, second down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Second down, Winston. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Cameron Brate, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum. Take that good feeling and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Second and 6, just inside the 30. I think this is a free play for Newton. Over the middle, it's Thomas.
Offside, defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Set. 180.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, Newton. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The shotgun snap for Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Newton now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Newton to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun. Newton looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, Can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Tackle made by K1 short.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Winston on 3rd and 2. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to Stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Ready. Blue ready. Push out. Sonic. Sonic.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And it's incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion. Here on 3rd down.
Ready. Blue ready. Where's that?
Jameis to throw it. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now a second down throw for Winston. On the crossing route, complete. That's Jackson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Winston now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Winston. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And 12 yards that time, and picking up the first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And that'll set him back 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. And Winston lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered. So the coach putting the blitz on, and remember, that coach, former defender in this league. He loves this.
Yeah, they love to see it happen, because I think they just have that flashback about when they were playing, right? That's what we were taught. That's what we did. And they've used that same impact with their own teams and do the same type of teaching.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. This is McCaffrey on the give. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Winston and the Bucks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Ready. Blue ready. Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Bucks on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Winston now. Well, this is caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Jameis now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Winston. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing, Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Mario Addison in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. Oh, some strong running. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Here's Newton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Winston. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 2nd down, here's Newton. They'll roll him out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, it's Anderson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love. You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield, and get your team in position to win the game. And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Time to play. Green,
He's back to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucks up on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to win the football game. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Carolina, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh.
When you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda said the standards in the tear down.